All right, so we're on recruiting, we're part five here. So we're talking about specialization still, and understanding what that means. So the main thing that we're trying to talk about is you need to get variable movements. You need to learn a lot of different skills, at least at first, to get a good base. And that is something that's really helpful as long as your sport allows for it. I mean, if you're a figure skater, I'm sorry, but if at age 8, for the most part, not considering the outliers, if you're not really into what you're doing, um, I'm sorry, you're probably going to miss that window of opportunity. But it's different for different sports. I mean, if you're talking about figure skating and diving, they're pretty similar as far as the time frame goes. If you're talking about cycling and rowing, you're like 4, 5, 6 years early. So like that comes later on, and then again, like I said, you get it's the difference between male and a female because of the development factor as far as maturation. Anyways, so getting back to talking about being prepared and and really talking about what the discussion should be about. You have schools they're trying to fill three sports, the smaller schools, so they've got to promote that. I get it, that's fine, but if you're going to play three sports, you don't have much downtime. So you need to be really, really smart with your recovery and your training in season. You can't just get away with doing anything because it's not just one season you're preparing for. You're preparing really for 3 seasons, and it's going to go back to back to back. And if you're on really good teams, which if you're trying to get recruited, you better hope you are. If you're on really good teams, then you're probably going into postseason. So you're going to have to optimize your recovery, and you're going to have to find better ways to train, smarter ways to learn and get better, which means you're going to have to be doing video review. You're going to have to be doing meditation. Your morning routine's got to be like on point, and you totally can do that. I love the fact that that a student athlete loves more than one sport. That's awesome. Um, but that's the thing. That's what we're really promoting is find what you love, do what you love. If it's more than one thing, yeah, sure, you can do that at a certain level. And if your goal is consistent with that, that's fine. If you're down here and you're trying to get way up here and your timeline is pretty compressed, it's going to be difficult. So you're going to have to make sure that you make the smartest and most efficient and effective choices because you don't have much time. So one of the a few guidelines that you want to think about as we're talking about like the overtraining and three sports, two sports, one sport, off season stuff really is you trying to get everybody on the same page and trying to understand what somebody's expectations before your season start are. That's really important. And if they have an opinion on your training, that's great. Get it. Um, you need to go out and do your research though and find out where you need to be. And so one of the things that I think about all the time, and I ask kids about too, because they really you're trying to teach them how to make a decision, and they need to understand that. And if they can make a decision, they're going to be pretty good in life. But we're talking about when we talk about the three sports, two sport, one sport, we're talking about what is the real question we're asking. Are you concerned with the development within the sport, or the development as a complete athlete, or the development of the entire person? Are you talking about sustainable progress? Are we talking about safety? Are we talking about joy, the joy of the sport? Are we talking about getting to certain competitive levels? Are you talking about recruitment? Are you talking about the quantity or the quality of the learning that's taking place? Because if you only play here and then you have this huge off season, but you're doing other sports, when are you also taking time to learn more, to watch more, to study more, than to practice in short pieces? It doesn't mean that you're going all year all the time. No, it means you actually have a true off season. Now, again, not promoting one sport. I'm saying we're talking about up until the age typically of like 15, 16. If you've decided you're going to be in the Olympics, or you're going to compete at a really high level, then the reflection of that goal needs to shine through in your everyday activity. And that's an important distinction to make. You also have to understand who are we talking about here. Are we talking about your goals, the goals for your sport, the goals for your life, the goals for you as a student athlete, or are we talking about the goals of somebody else?